Hello everyone, and welcome to the Week 9 update for the Dragon's Tavern. Today is August 14th. This week we had 20 commits from 3 different contributors, which brings our total commits to 178 from 9 total contributors, and we have just finished up Week 9 of 12, so we've got 3 weeks left. This week we had Rob come in and add some work-in-progress music for the background, and you'll be able to hear that both in the hub area as well as in the game itself. Ian came in and created a class for the hub area between the cards that the player owns and the cards that are currently in the player deck, and he added the ability to add and remove those cards, so that way you can go into the game with a deck that you created. And then I reworked the hub area. I migrated the main menu into the hub area, added the credits, the tutorial, and the pack purchasing sections, and then I added the pack purchasing feature to eventually be able to tie it into Ian's system, so that way the cards that you buy can go into your deck. That way you can bring them into the duels. And then I worked with Chris in the battle system to allow the enemy attacks to be able to stagger themselves, so they're not all playing right on top of each other. So let's jump on over to the demo here. So most of the work this week was in the hub area, and you should be able to hear Rob's music. It's really nice and it's very subtle. We have a very subtle camera movement going on here. We have all of these acting as different buttons here. So if we were to go over to the credits side over here, you can see where our credits are going to go. It looks like a poster that's on the wall type of thing. Over here we have our tutorial, which is a little book that you can go through to figure out how to play the game. Text is a little blurry, but we should be able to fix that with very little problem. We have the buy cards section, which is over here on this table, where we have a pack of cards. I think that's how you would phrase that. Similar to what you would do at like a trading card store. Up here we have the coins that you will get whether you win or lose a battle, and you can take them here to buy a card. So when we press buy a card, a pack is going to appear, the pack opens up, a card appears, and then it unlocks whichever card it is. Now if we were to see what's happening on the back end with that, we can take a look at our game manager, and we have a total number of cards that the game manager is able to pull from. So these are all the cards that the player could pull out of the packs. We're going to have 3 copies of each card, and then once a card is pulled out of here, then they're going to go into the spell cards that the player owns. So like the Kitten of Spite was just pulled out, and the Kitten of Spite is now under the owned category. So if we were to unpause this, we should be able to buy a different one. And that one is Lost in Quicksand, which is our spell card. And if we can see over here, the spell card's owned is Lost in Quicksand. So that's sort of how the buying will go. So if we were to hit the back button and go over to our setup deck, the 2 systems aren't quite connected yet, but you can see what Ian was working on this week, where you can scroll through here and you can see the different cards that are available, and you can hover over it similar to what you can do in the game, and you can press it and it will be added to your deck down here. So we can add a couple more cards down here, and you're like, I don't want this ancestral lore one, so you can get rid of that card. And so those would be the 3 there, and then you can also press the play button and you'll be able to go into the game. So you can see how these are the 3 cards that the player had in their deck before they came in. We have a little bit of funky behavior here because there's not enough cards to draw, so technically the game is over, but we'll see if we can get away with it. For now, we can, which means that that will be a bug that needs to be fixed. So we can hit this end attack here. The opponent should be able to draw their card and play their card as per usual, and they have 2 cards that are attacking. There's the first attack, and now we should see the second one attack if the opponent landed the attack. So we still have the battleship system going, where this card chose one of the 6 spots on the table, and it must have hit one of the 4. So we'll see if we can get them to attack back to back here. So there's that attack going. We do have one bug going where the cards are not destroying when they hit 0, but you can see our health is updating, and you could see the 2 cards attacking each other there. So that is the current state of the game right now. And if we were to pop on over to the Trello board, we got 3 weeks left. This week we're going to try to have it build up on itch. We're going to do some bug fixing, which you can see right down here. we're going to finish up the adding and removing cards from the hand, and also the ability to add and remove from the deck. So I just want to integrate those two systems together. We're going to have a save system, so that way if the player leaves and comes back, they don't have to redo all of their progress. Going to do a little bit of card balancing when the battle is going on. We're going to finish up the art for card set 4. I think there's only like 4 or 5 left. We have a couple of sound effect opportunities if anybody wants to get their hands dirty on that. And then those bug fixes. And then week 11 should be polish and cleaning up the warm-up tasks, which should just be the pause menu while you are in the game. And then week 12, some more polish, get the credits updated, and release the game. So we are on the downhill slide, but if anybody wants to jump in, there's still plenty of time. Thanks, everybody.